What's up? Welcome into Pick Central, Halloween edition, Thursday, October 31st. Halloween is always a Thursday. I should have got that right. Halloween, joined by Brad Powers.
You're about to call him Brad Stevens.
I was. I'm in basketball mode, as you can tell. Brad Powers, fresh off of a win last week. Brad, I gotta give it to you. Like I look stupid. The tradition is now dead. The Kansas State owning Kansas it's now 2 years in a row. I think you've said like 4 out of 10 maybe against the spread. I was going back and looking at it, but the tradition is dead. Kleiman's still going to beat them, I think, next year, but I will not be betting the game with a big unit play like I usually do.
Yeah, I mean, the gap's closed. You can't be laying points in it. I tried to warn you. You're like, I misread it. I didn't think you were even going to have me on this week's show after
no, of course.
Got after you online, but misread it. What'd you read about the game? That's what I want to know. What'd you read?
I misread that Kleiman had the answers like he usually does. Like I've said it a million times. When Snyder cleared out his office, he gave his key in, he gave everything, but he left a little thing in there that had to beat Kansas, and Kleiman had did it.
And they beat him.
I know.
I wouldn't have got after you if Kansas State was a dog or a really short favorite. I've been like, yeah, I hear you. All they do is beat Kansas, but laying 10 was, especially this year's Kansas team. I know they haven't won games, but every game they've lost is one possession.
I agree.
Dang you, man. I tried to get you off of that.
I know.
Let's be honest. You were betting it no matter what.
Agreed.
Yeah, you didn't look at shit. You're like,
I looked at
No, for this game.
No, but that's what Brad's saying about misread. Like there was no read. Like
shit.
You had this chalked up as a 5-unit play 6 months ago.
Yeah, no matter what this was, you could have read something, but you didn't like it.
What you read was Kansas State.
Yeah, exactly. I misread the game. I didn't need to know anything else, but I misread the game because they should have lost the game outright. They were lucky for that.
Yeah,
safety.
They should have. I wanted. You better believe I wanted that outright winner on.
I know. Yeah, that would have been, yeah, exactly. And I was getting the tweets, Rockhawk, Jayhawk. So it is what it is. But all right, I'll open with Big Ev. You got Ohio State, Penn. What's before you get to the play? I guess what's the biggest advantage in that game? Is it the fact that Ryan Day owns James Franklin? Is it Ohio State's offense? Is it Penn's defense? Where offensive line, linebackers? What's the biggest advantage here on both sides? What is Ohio State's biggest advantage in this game? What's Penn's biggest advantage in this game?
I don't think there's a significant edge for either team in the game, and I really don't. At this current form, I don't trust either team. Now, you're right. Ryan Day is better than James Franklin, but that's not saying much. I'm really worried about this Ohio State offensive line. Obviously didn't show well last week, and they continue to be banged up, specifically at left tackle, against a very good pass rush and Abdul Carter on Penn State. Penn State obviously got issues at quarterback. Drew Aller, is he going to play or isn't he? I think he's going to play. We'll see if he's close to 100%. I like Perbula just because he can run, and he's going to be running because I think Ohio State will try to get after that Penn State offensive line. I don't like either team. I mean, I would like to bet Ohio State in the game, but last week happened, and I didn't like that at all. I thought that was worse than the Oregon game. I bet under, though. I think the way it's down a little bit, it's, you get as high as 46 now, but I think the real way to attack it is the first half under. I'm seeing as high as 23.5. I'm going to go under there. I think it's a slow start. Both teams feel each other out a little bit, and I'm avoiding, end game stuff or if it goes to overtime or anything like that. So first half under for me.
Yeah, this is definitely the most worried I've been for a big game with Ohio State in a while. I agree with you, Brad. I don't trust him right now. I don't trust Ryan Day. The offensive line looks awful, especially since Simmons went down. It looks really bad. There's been even more injuries to it. Penn State has a good front seven. It's scary. We have more athletes. I think the defense performs well. I do, as much of an egg as they laid against Oregon, I do still trust the defense against this offense in this spot. I'm worried though. I'm definitely the word I've been cautiously optimistic is the word I've been using. But I'm at such a breaking point with Ryan Day where basically if he loses this game, I'm just done with him. Totally done. But this is the one big game that he's always won. He just seems to always win this game. So I hope that holds true. I hope Jeremiah Smith, Booker, the difference makers, they make a couple plays. Yeah. They pull away late, but I kind of agree with your sentiment on the under. Like I could definitely see this going to half being like a 7-3 game. I mean, Ohio State's played a bunch of them like 7-0. I think both against Michigan State and Iowa.
Her offense in the first halves of these games has left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, for sure. So I definitely the under angle. I definitely listen. I'll short spreads. I'll be in Ohio State. I'll maybe with one of like the DraftKings boost. I'll try to just like use a boost and get the money line or something. But I think
you wait if you want to bet Ohio State. Wait till the news is official on Aller. And then you bet Ohio State because I think you're going to at least lay a cheap 3 or if not a cheap money line. I'm not falling for it. I laid a cheap money line against Oregon.
Yep.
I'm not doing it again. I prefer the total towards the side. I know everyone wants a side pick, but just because it's the biggest game of the week doesn't mean it's the best value pick of the week.
No, we know that. Do you think he plays?
Yeah, I think he plays. I don't know if that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, I would think he at least tries to, but I mean, Franklin has said from like basically since the second like game time decision. So
yeah, he's gonna play that game. Here's the thing. I mean, he must have been really. I mean, it's not like they were way up on Wisconsin. Yeah. I mean, that game was in jeopardy, Big time. It had to be significant enough that he couldn't go there. I don't know. It's a knee. I just that's a little tricky. I like Prbula again. I don't think Aller is that great of a passer and. Prbula in a game like this can run around a little bit. That's what you need against Ohio State's defensive front.
Yeah, he's very like McSorley-esque.
Agreed.
That's who he reminds me of a lot, even just like his build.
Last quarterback to beat Ohio State from Penn State.
That's true.
They haven't. That guy just sits back there like a statue. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, he struggled last year. That's the one thing, and it's so funny where I don't know if it's like a mental thing, but we just like. JT's played. He's been fine this year. Hasn't stood out crazy, but he just somehow has had big games. He obviously 2 years ago had the massive game where he basically won us the game single-handedly, and that game was in jeopardy too. People kind of forget that because he really took over at the end. The game I wanted to I was actually even more interested to ask you about A&M South Carolina. Probably the most like interesting line of the week if you're just like looking at the board and being like, oh, number 10 only laying 2.5 on the road, South Carolina. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I like South Carolina to win the game. I like the spot. I think A&M's a little overrated. They've been outgained in 3 of their last 4 games. And even last week, it's a good win. They got margin on LSU, but, I mean, LSU missed 3 field goals. LSU had, 3 turnovers? I guess caught LSU by surprise with Marcel Reed. Marcel Reed's played more snaps than Connor Wigman this year. I don't get why you didn't have at least some sort of game plan against it. South Carolina will. I like South Carolina's defensive front's one of the best in college football. So I think the stadium atmosphere is a little underrated there. It's a really tough place to play. And I also go this time of year, I'm always like, change one play in a team season. What's the point spread? You could do it with 2 games with South Carolina. They easily could have beaten Alabama, easily could have beaten LSU. If they somehow win those close games instead of losing them, what's the line? It's probably pick them. If they win both games, they're favored in this one. Change 2 plays and they're favored.
Is A&M going with Wegman and Reed? Or are they going to like? What do you think? Is it the duel? What are they doing there?
They might play both, but I think you go to Reed. I mean, he just gives you a little. I mean, Wegman can't throw. I mean, that was supposed to be his strength. He can't throw though. So I think you're Reed from this point forward, and Wegman transfers after the year.
South Carolina money line is plus 110.
I don't. I mean, look, I'm part of all the money at 3 or higher, but at this point, since you're not catching the best number, you might as well just go money line plus 110 or better.
Yep. Big picture, a lot of conference races now heating up. There might not be the ones that are the most intriguing in terms of playoff teams, but you have 4 teams unbeaten in the ACC, 4 teams with 0 or 1 loss in the Big 12, 5 teams in the SEC with 0 or 1 losses. Is there somebody you're looking at in those conferences, like under the radar now, that you would play to win a conference?
Believe it or not, Colorado, last couple weeks.
Love that.
You look at the remaining schedule, they're going to be favored in all 4 games. They're playing like the disappointing teams in the Big 12 down the stretch. Kansas, Utah, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, all these teams have underachieved this year. So what was perceived to be a tough stretch in the final month now is a favorable stretch. So, I like the Buffs. I think they got a real good shot at going 9-3, 10-2. If that's the case, Travis Hunter's probably going to win the Heisman.
That would be something if after like Deion gets kind of shipped to bed. Or he started really high, gets shipped out to bed, and then it comes back.
Will just be wild if year 2 he's in a playoff
game. I agree.
And he's a 3 or 4.
Be a good story.
Probably the 4 seed in the playoff would just be insane.
The over under on them start of the year was 4.5 wins.
Yeah.
They go to the playoffs. That's crazy.
I mean, they have an unbelievable quarterback, and they have obviously Travis Hunter, and they got talent everywhere on the roster, so that's intriguing. Florida, Georgia. Florida's not. You told me don't worry about Florida. Florida's going to get to a bowl.
Are they? Well, who are they beating? They're beating Florida State. That's 5. Who else are they beating?
You don't think they could beat Ole Miss in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I mean they can. But they're being underdog.
It's getting hairy. It's definitely getting hairy. I thought Florida
I
had that locked up. But what do you think about that game? Because Georgia's offense hasn't looked great. You lay in the number. You playing the under. Which way are you looking?
It won't be hairy on Saturday afternoon. Georgia's going to kill them, in my opinion. Kirby doesn't like Florida. And I'm just not saying that to, general speaking.
Right.
No, he literally – somebody finally did I see a video. It was online. It goes back to when Kirby played at Georgia. His hatred for Florida. So I've seen the last couple of years, he has put extra scores on late in the game. So I think that happens here. So I like Georgia. I'll lay the 16. And what I really like, it's not widely available until game day, but Georgia's team total over. They will score points on this Florida defense.
Big week.
7.5 point dog.
Hit 7.5. It's away. This is the only tough away game they got. They need this one. And then they got Clemson soon, but that's why I have to worry about that when it happens. Do you think they have any chance?
Well, yeah, the spread's only 7.5. This is college football.
Yeah.
SMU's quarterback might be banged up here. He took a hell of a shot on his knee. We'll see if he plays. But I don't like Pitt this week against the spread. I just like one time a year you get something like this, and it's, I got Pitt off a +5 turnover game with 3 pick sixes against an SMU team with -6 in turnovers last week. Somehow won a football game. I don't like Pitt's offense the last couple games. I know they put 41 on the board last week. Well, yeah, their defense outscored their offense. So they scored 0 in the final 40 against Cal. I bet Pitt in that game. I needed a point to cover a point spread there, and I trust SMU a little bit more.
No, that's the one. I was actually, because SMU looked like dog shit against Duke, and then I was like,
oh, they did, but
won. Like, do I want Duke to win? Because then they're gonna come off a loss, and then I was doing a lot of things in my head that I didn't like.
I would hedge with SMU here.
How much can I?
They're 7.5 point favorites.
Maybe wait, hope you're up 3-0 and get it live.
Also, they got to play Clemson in a couple weeks.
I don't take a 72-1 to hedge in week 8.
All right. Service Academy unders have been something ridiculous, like 37-8 or 42-6 or something like that over the last couple of years. I don't have the exact stat, but I know you know it. It's somewhere ridiculous. Service Academy unders.
Yeah, 0-2 the last 2, though.
Okay, yeah. Why do I feel like Army's going to run it up on Air Force this week?
I can't lay the points, but I do lean over. I think the Service Academy unders, I'm not saying it's dead, but it's dead this year when you got quarterbacks like Navy and Army have. So you can't bet. It's already suppressed like 5-6 points. So I think it's actually cheap on the over. I can't lay this point spread. This is the largest point spread favorite role for Army ever against Air Force. It's deserved, but still, I don't like playing on historical outliers. I like playing against historical outliers. And they were actually a 20-point underdog in the game last year. I've never seen a line between two teams, let alone service academies, swing 40 points in 1 year.
Can I piggyback on that? The Navy at Rice. The over-under is 50.5. That just stuck out to me because I'm like a Navy, like service academy. I'm obviously a casual.
Navy can score.
Navy can score that much.
Yeah, lean over there, but
really?
There's 2 issues.
Okay.
There's a lot of things on Rice I don't like. They fired their coach this week.
Okay. That's
their quarterback, I don't know if E.J. Warner, Kurt Warner's kid's going to play. Didn't play last week, so their backup is really bad. Their only touchdown last week against Connecticut was via kick return, so that sucks. And Navy's quarterback didn't get enough play in the markets last week. Thumb injury. He had trouble gripping the football. He fumbled a couple times. Yep. He had it taped up to start the Notre Dame game. Took it off. I don't like that either. Thumb injuries tend to linger.
I have one. Am I crazy to take Michigan plus 14.5 this week?
That's the game I wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I can't get there, man.
Duckies, baby, Duckies.
I haven't laid it, but I I'm looking to lay it. I want to bet Oregon. I just haven't gotten there yet. What's the pathway to success? I mean, Oregon will lock down their wide receivers.
And I think
Michigan's defense is overrated. I thought last week's game, good win for Michigan. It was a must win. But, I mean, if you watch that game, Michigan State blew a lot of opportunities. No, I like Oregon to kill them, to be honest with you.
I'm sure of some upsetting news, too. They had a 5-star or 4-star decommit, right? Didn't I read that across the line?
From
Michigan.
Yeah, a quarterback, but that might actually be good news reading the tea leaves. It means that they're going all in on that Underwood kid. You should know that. You guys are in that office. Portnoy should have some inside scoop there.
I don't think he knows his list yet. I know he's
he's working on it.
I know he's working on it. We don't know the list.
Something he's told me that I'm not allowed to say. That I'm as an Ohio State fan, I'm not happy with. I'll just say that.
So crazy.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. That clip went berserk.
The fact that your boss can ruin your life in sports is incredible.
And I've been sworn to secrecy. Right. I can't even talk.
He's already ruined your life for the past 2 years.
But he can have a direct correlation to ruining his life.
Deep level things I legitimately I'm not allowed to talk about. Like, I can't.
It's unbelievable.
Where's your Buckeye big donors at? Come on. I mean, it's all fair game. I love what he's doing. I'm a Notre Dame guy.
They've been putting money into it. Day just can't get him over the finish line.
That's true. We've been $30 million roster, and you're losing. You're almost losing to Nebraska. If Nebraska had a better quarterback, you'd have lost.
You're absolutely correct. I mean, the Schottensteins, who the basketball is named after, like they made a beer just to use the profits for NIL. And it's worked well. They made like $10 million. They put in it.
Jesus Christ.
$30 million college roster is crazy.
Yeah, something like that. 20, 30, yeah.
That's crazy.
And the crazy thing is, if they lose, if they don't win this year, it's only going to get more expensive because they're going to be like, we got to fucking put more in. That's the answer, like 35, 40.
We can't keep spending if they're going to still suck.
We'll keep spending.
They'll keep spending.
We'll spend. We got deep pockets.
What'd you have on Arkansas?
I wanted to ask about Arkansas Ole Miss because it's one of those lines, like my knee jerk, I see the line. Ole Miss has historically not been good against Arkansas. I kind of want to take Arkansas, but then there was part of me that almost like, am I almost like, I don't want to say taking the bait, but Ole Miss has kind of been down. Where are you at on this game?
I can't bet it at current. 7 sounds right to me. I mean, I bet Ole Miss, but again, -6 goes up to 7. That's all this game is. Just getting in front of key, line moves. I don't trust the Ole Miss offense. I mean, it's night and day what they're doing in SEC play compared to what they were doing in non-conference. Arkansas is kind of up, down. They're off and up. Big-time performance last week where they killed Mississippi State. I think 7 sounds right. I actually lean under. Ole Miss unders. Everyone thinks offense, high-flying with Lane Kiffin. It's the opposite. The defense is the best unit on the field, and Ole Miss games are 7-1 to the under.
I would say our Ole Miss correspondent, Mitzi, actually said the same exact thing to me yesterday. He said under.
Yeah, under.
It is true. They just score all those points against jerk-off State week 1 and 2, and then everyone's like, oh, they're shootouts. They score all these points. They've been very. It's true.
It's a tough school to get a degree from. Where'd you go?
They run it up for 70 against those teams, and then they've had even the games they played well.
Yeah, they've been on their. I agree with that.
27-3. Like they've had a lot of low-scoring games.
Yeah. If ever we're mad at Brad, we should put him in a room with Mincy for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not. Why you want to?
Just saying.
Why?
It's a good
Brad's
card
a nice
to
guy.
have.
He helps us out.
How much of his content have you consumed, Brad?
Of Mincy?
Yeah.
He's been following me a while. He hits me up every now and then. I'm okay with it.
He loves talking football.
Brian, what do you think about Ole Miss this week, Brian?
He will.
He loves college ball.
He'll talk to you. He'll love you.
I love the South. So I mean I don't have a problem with it.
All right. Sparty, Indiana. Obviously, Indiana with the injury. Is he playing? What's going on? What's going on with Indiana? I think laying 8 to Sparty.
They think he's going to play. I like Michigan State. In fact, I sprung a little Michigan State money line here. So that would be one of my touchdown plus underdogs that I think can win outright. I'm hoping he does play. Again, it's a thumb on the throwing hand. I think it's a little bit more serious than they're leading it off to be. But hopefully we can get a better line. So we wait until that news becomes official, then we bet Michigan State.
Okay. Anybody else on those touchdown dogs to kind of look at? Sprinkles, money lines?
That's my favorite one by far. I just told you I think South Carolina upsets A&M.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't have much. I got to be honest with you guys. I think this is my least favorite college football card.
It's not a great card. Yeah, it's not a great card.
It's terrible. Well, a lot of it is 42. Literally, I think 39 teams are on a bye this week. So that's a lot of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All right, best bet.
I haven't given this out anywhere yet.
Ooh.
And I like giving out stuff, different because, I mean, you can either become a hero or an idiot. If you do 20 podcasts, you would like a little bit of balance. I like Iowa against Wisconsin. I'm laying the 3. I know it's a low total. I think secretly this time of year, look, the lines it's tough to beat. You're looking for fundamental changes in teams. The fundamental change in this game is Iowa's quarterback is an upgrade. McNamara out, Sullivan in. Sullivan can at least run. McNamara wasn't even throwing it well. So they have a pretty good athlete at quarterback, Iowa. That opens up the run lanes for Johnson at running back. I'm not buying Wisconsin. They had a golden opportunity last week. You're up at home against Penn State. Penn State's got their backup quarterback in, and you blow that game. And, I mean, weren't even close at the end, in my opinion. I mean, Penn State was doing whatever they wanted. So I can't trust Wisconsin with their quarterback to go on the road at night at Kinnick, which is a really tough place to play. Iowa -3 for me.
Okay.
I like that play.
Love it.
All right. That's perfect. Thank you, Brad. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks,
All
Brad.
right. Take care, guys.
All right.
Brad.
Do you think he gives out candy on Halloween?
Yeah.
No chance.
Of course he does.
I think he's doing the numbers.
No, he's
a bowl guy.
Yeah,
I'll leave a bowl. Yeah.
He's a bowl outside.
nothing wrong with that.
He's got no time for that.
Leave a bowl.
I'll leave a bowl for the kids.
Leave a bowl is
You
the.
guys are crazy. He's got 0 time. He's crunching numbers, and I respect it.
Nah, he leaves a bowl out.
Yeah,
I think he's a bowl guy. I think he's a bowl guy. He's a big bowl guy. He's crushing the real bowls. But I think he's a bowl guy for Halloween. All right. Yankees out in a absolutely, I mean, even as a bystander, an absolutely crushing
Historic
loss.
collapse. This will go down in history. The 5th inning is now with Buckner. It's with Grady Goodell. It is a historic collapse.
You guys got 6 outs that inning.
The 5th inning is a thing now.
You got 6 outs. What's the one that's the more frustrating one?
The Judge one.
No.
No.
It's the least frustrating.
Well, no, Cole probably is the most frustrating in the sense that it gets out of the inning.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase. Judge was the most like, what the fuck?
Right.
Really?
It's a routine fly ball.
A routine fly ball.
That he just lost nights. The mental mistakes drive me crazy.
No.
Volpe
Like
was
the
a-
Cole
was
was
a
a true like a
thing.
mental lapse where he just like I think he was almost just like spent from like he's like God I've got 5 outs already.
Volpe, too, just started first.
Throw it a second.
Or second, excuse me.
Well, the
But
thing
even
is,
third was like he just
you're
makes a
told
good throw.
Bad throw.
as a shortstop, if you're on first and second and you're going towards third, you're told to throw a third. Which, if he just threw it to him, he was out.
Yeah.
That was like obviously Judge's was awful, right? It's like he took his eyes off at last second. He made an amazing catch before. I mean, Judge's is also it's not you have to catch that ball. It's right. It's an easy one, but right after that, you gotta throw him out third. And Cole, it's like, dude, you did all the great. You got Ohtani out. You struck out what's his name? What was it? Lux, whoever.
Lux got him up.
Struck out Lux. You got a ground ball, and the thing is, I get it
A weak ground ball too.
because it was a ground ball that was close to first base, but the ball was spinning like this, so it went all of a sudden towards second base. So Rizzo was a little off balance towards second instead of coming.
Rizzo had to
towards
move to his
first.
left.
And also, for your entire life, the pitcher covers first base, and everyone. If you're telling me that Cole wasn't going to beat him to first base, you're an idiot. If he just went straight to first like you're supposed to, it's a routine out. It's an easy out. It was an embarrassing inning, and the entire game was embarrassing.
It even got worse than it because you had the catcher interference, you had the balk. Those mistakes drive me crazier than Judge dropping the fly ball. If that makes any sense, just because it's like that's a mental mistake.
Balk was because
The pitch count.
the pitch come. So that was like because with 3 seconds left, he had no idea what he's going to throw, and it is like you can't just throw a fastball. Like you could just get off and go like that and just be like, that's what we're doing. But that's why he balked. And then we can't have Ohtani hitting the glove. We also can't have first and second one out and do nothing. Like Judge had a great game besides that drop. He double, and then Jazz gets on. Then you have Stanton swinging first pitch when you can't say anything about Stanton.
I think that's the most frustrating thing, like for a Yankee fan, is all of these series. You're like, when is Judge gonna fucking deliver? When is Judge? He delivers in the biggest spot of the series. At that point, obviously, a monster home run, and he drops a fucking fly ball.
But he also made a great catch the inning before.
I know, but it's
If he reversed that, if he
it's like
drops
it
that
wasn't-
4th inning and then catches the 5th, You know what I mean?
I guess it would have been easier. My point is like it would have been easier to have him kill the series, obviously, and you win is the best case scenario. But it's so much more frustrating. I feel like if he just did nothing, you'd be like, all right, he did nothing for the series. It sucks. He did enough, but he was like back and forth. He did good and then he did fucking bad. It's one of those like it's
Weirdest
just
game I've ever watched because Garrett Cole pitched an amazing.
He pitched a great game.
And no one's gonna remember that. Everyone's gonna say, "Well, he let up 5 runs," and he did. He let up 0. And it was truly. I woke up way more sad this morning than last night because I was like processing it last night, and I'm watching Soto fucking have Boris's voice in his mouth.
Yeah, what do you?
Welcome to the Queens, baby.
Brutal.
You know he's coming here.
It's like right after you.
Nah, but
lose
that's
obviously
pretty good,
He
right?
should have waited.
Me
Do
at all.
you think he
Like,
should
of
have?
course, that's what he's gonna say.
No, I disagree. I think he should have like.
Here we go.
I think he was given interviews a little too quick in terms of opportunities and money and stuff like
You
that.
have to
What's
do it.
of course?
I think he should have just said, "Hey, we just
been on,
lost.
like,
Let me focus on my teammates." He could have given himself a day.
Ev, what I'm saying is that I'm okay with his answer. It's a business. It's his life. He has to say that because he's a free agent. Just like waking up again just after that loss, and I'm already thinking about losing this guy, and we just lost this World Series, and everyone else's interviews were really like Volpe was like, "I'm gonna remember this feeling till the day I die." Judge said the same
yeah.
exact thing. Verdugo was like, even Verdugo actually had a good series. I don't know. It's just like. It's a waste of a season. Getting to the World Series, losing in 5 games, is a waste of a season.
But
it's because it's different than like they beat us and you'd say they're the better team, but it's letting multiple games just slip through our fingers in the way we did, and that they didn't just dominate.
that's a
us.
dumb tweet, by the way.
He's
not going anywhere. So
It's from 2019, Clemmer.
2019.
okay, all right. So why are we putting it up then?
I mean, it clearly says Garrett Cole.
He's wearing
Houston
the hat.
Astros.
Oh,
Just
okay.
Going off the.
Well, the reason
Soto.
I was confused because Garrett Cole does have an opt out this year, so it's kind of also like why are we putting up tweets from 4 years ago on the show? What are we doing 5 years ago?
Oh, because he's wearing the hat.
Boris. Yeah, I think everyone watching the show knows Boris is a.
No, but Soto's
more
wearing
so
the hat.
Soto.
I-
Okay.
it's-
All right.
whatever. But
You just wanted to
and
share something. Let him
It was
rock.
Soto after
Yeah.
the World Series, and then.
All
Garrett Cole going
right,
to
so
Yankees.
can I just say the stream last night? That was the greatest stream I've ever seen. Mike Francesa was incredible. He genuinely seemed to enjoy your company, Marty. I mean that. Like Tommy was cracking him up. But the star of the show, even though Francesa was amazing. Oh my! I hope he does more. I hope he had fun. He seemed to enjoy himself. Meek Phil was Kerry Wood in 1998. It was the greatest performance I've ever seen. He was hitting. And the great thing about his trolling was he was never personal. It was like Marty, fuck you, or any. It was these little digs, this perfect timing. Even the champagne was funny because he got sprayed on himself. Like Meek Phil should hold his head up so high today. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in a stream.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
Good stuff.
Great job, Phil.
Really good.
Thank you, Clemmer. I'm not going to rub it in their
No, you
faces
guys
like
do that.
Mort ended last night. Like,
That's fair.
Better not, because
Why?
you guys would cry if we did that.
No, we wouldn't. We would fight back probably, but like
Oh, we literally were there for one time, and Meek literally screamed his head.
he got mad at you. Yeah,
Tom.
I didn't though. I mean,
well, I got
Freaked
mad at
out.
Tommy.
Freaked out.
It was in the moment.
And we were in the game. We were playing a game.
and I also pat myself on the back.
No.
A masterclass. I keep my gorgeous hair, and I get a steak dinner. That was key negotiation. That was Chris Clemmer, the sales guy, back at work. That was an amazing job by me to get a steak dinner out of literally thin air. Kudos to Chris Clemmer for that free steak dinner. Let's go. Give it up for the skinny guy.
Nice play.
Clemmer
Under-
definitely not bothered by the internet saying he got fleeced yesterday.
Yeah.
How'd I get fleeced? Fleeced by what?
Absolutely fleeced.
At least.
I got fleeced in the.
He
They
won
gotta
the
pay-
trade.
I won the bet. What? How did I get fleeced, Ev?
Well, I got a
Break it down for me. I'm not very bright.
steak.
I mean, you were risking your hair for
For something that was never gonna happen.
pay like
was
$30.
never.
It was never gonna happen.
A lot easier to say today.
That was you weren't.
I said it then. I said it yesterday. I stand on business. That's bullshit. You guys know. Like, come on.
I mean, hey, I'm not. I didn't make the bet. I'm
Oh, you
just
did?
an innocent. I'm an innocent bystander.
You are.
Just got fleeced.
Blame Pie for
I've made plenty of good bets that I've lost and plenty of bad bets that I've won.
That was a great bet that I won. I literally got a steak dinner out of thin air for something that was never gonna happen. It's never happened.
Which Aaron is more at blame for this
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a
World
good question.
Series loss? Aaron Judge or Aaron Boone?
So this is so stupid. I'm so sick of there is trolls like that. Like, What did Aaron Boone do?
Well, the Cortez in the first game, excuse me.
But then Cortez came in the other game and got everybody out in the same exact fashion.
Sloppy fundamentals.
But it's like, but how is that Aaron Boone? That's a fucking players. Like, I hate that shit.
Okay.
Aaron Boone actually managed pretty well. Nestor is the only thing that I guess you can say. What the fuck? I mean, and Tommy goes, it's like because how the organization, how the players react. One, we did get to the World Series. That's not enough for us, 100%. But I don't we made mental errors. We lost. Like, the Dodgers, any error we had, the Dodgers hit us on. They capitalized. The Yankees, the Dodgers didn't beat the shit out of us. We just made so many mistakes that they capitalized on. They were the better team for sure, but they weren't winning 7-1, 8-1 where they're just dominating. Errors, base running errors, fucking stupid shit that we're losing on. And also, when we have first and second, one out, we're not scoring. And when they have a man on first, one out, somehow they score every time. That's where they're better, and I don't know what Aaron Boone had to do with anything.
Did I give Boone some credit? I think he worked the bullpen really well yesterday. He also made a good decision yesterday, leaving Cole in for those extra 2 innings, which Cole, you got to give some credit to, too. Obviously, the mental mistake was borderline unforgivable. But if you take the sum of the parts, he pitched brilliantly those first 4 innings. And then to come back and be able to shove for 2 more innings like that when you just had that,
That's impressive.
That's pretty good mental fortitude.
I mean, you also got to
Threw a lot of pitches.
Freeman too, because he fucking pitched 45 pitches as a closer.
Oh, Trinan?
Trinan.
Oh, Blake Trinan, that was about as gutsy a performance you'll see from a reliever in a postseason game or in any
There's
game.
a lot of people to blame though. It's not Judge didn't play Judge played awful.
Yep.
I mean, he had one good game in the World Series.
Yeah.
I think
like-
Aaron Judge is the sole reason they lost this series.
This is not true, but
I mean, the first three.
He's one of the
It's one of. I don't think sole reason is fair, Phil.
stupid way to
So-
say it.
You're right. Soul, a little too far, but he is
The biggest reason?
He gets the biggest piece
That's a
of the blame
fair-
pie.
I would-
take.
I think that's fair, but sole reason no, because
Yeah.
you also have Jazz Chisholm was 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position. You also have Austin Wells he had one good game as well. That was god awful. Who else do we have? Rizzo didn't really play well. He kind of just
That's on Cashman to me though. Rizzo is obviously washed. He's done.
And you're
Why are the New York Yankees putting Anthony Rizzo at first? He hasn't a home run since fucking July? June?
June
Do you
13th.
give him any credit for even playing?
Yeah, I think he's a great.
Supposedly-
He seems like a great guy. Everyone loves him.
Supposedly that he literally
Guys get old, it
was
sucks.
saying that he could get which is worse that he's playing, but supposedly it was crazy that he could even get a glove on his hand.
Yeah.
That's how blown up it was.
I think he's a really admirable guy that I think had a great major league career, but it's obviously probably past. It's done.
He's going to be our first
And
baseman.
Marty,
he won't.
you make good points.
They're gonna let him walk, right? So his option is $6 million.
I hope he's not our
You
first.
guys got to get better options than that at first base.
I hope
You guys can let him walk for $6 million,
Shouldn't be
or
the
pay him 17.
he shouldn't be at first.
I don't
base
think he
next
should
year.
either, but I'm saying I think.
That's crazy, Marty. You're gonna pay him $17 million next year?
I am telling you, I don't want to.
Who do you have to replace next year? There's a lot of
Juan
Gleyber?
Soto.
Glaber,
Gleyber.
Soto.
We're gonna if
No, I'm just saying, what's open right now? As of today, the season ended. What's open?
Them,
Or Verdugo?
Potentially, yeah.
the free agents are them two.
Doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. You can
yeah,
replace
Verdugo doesn't matter.
Holmes is a free agent, and
Too.
Holmes, yeah.
the other reliever.
It's literally just one Soto that we need. Labor, if we get one,
Canley might be a free
I
agent.
think Canley is. You can
You
replace.
said Rizzo. Rizzo was your first baseman. I know he might walk.
yeah, but that's up to us.
Okay.
Yes.
It's other people are we have to figure out. It's just whenever we have to figure out whenever Soto. The problem is how fast Soto goes, how long it takes. If it takes
Now
long,
Boris is.
we can't fucking pay other people because we need to know how he.
Right.
Soto's a big problem.
It's a big issue, especially with Boris. You know how Boris
Mike said
extends it
it's
too.
3 teams. Mike said it's 3 teams. Says the Yankees, he thinks it's the Mets, and he thinks it's the Toronto Blue Jays.
Which I think. So I respect
Toronto
Mike a
Blue
lot.
Jays has
Obviously,
a lot of money. I don't think he's going to go there. I don't think he wants to go to Canada.
I've
And
heard the Dodgers a lot.
I don't think that's. I don't
think
think
so
that's
either.
a thing.
That would be
I
unfair.
think that's just a thing of 'cause the
Leverage.
Dodgers can, and there's just no way. You can't pay 2 guys on your.
You can.
And Juan Soto's not going to defer his money.
No, he's not.
So that's another.
You already have one guy that is.
I understand, but that's just I don't think that he'll do that either. I really don't.
I think the Mets are the most likely option
Why?
because they can offer the most money.
Yeah, but like the Yankees
He's a Scott
aren't
Boras
gonna-
client.
Yankees aren't going to be like that far off.
The Mets will offer more money than the Yankees,
Okay, but they won't be that far
but
off.
that's a Boras thing. I think that matters a lot, Marty.
It does, but if it's he has a little bit of like, he was with our team. He has a little bit now of like unfinished business.
I don't think it matters to him. He's already got a ring. I think his friendship with Judge might matter.
That matters.
Yeah.
Unfinished business definitely matters. Like you go on a team that got to the World Series, you don't think he cares about that?
I think he does, and I mean, I think go win one with the Mets.
So
See, that's just you're being.
I don't think I am. I'm not like I think he already has a ring. Like I think the unfinished business is more pressing for Judge and for Cole than it is for Soto for that reason.
he's going to the highest bidder. We know that.
Yes.
And I just want to ask Marty, I have a question. Is there a number that another team signs him to where you're like, you know what, I'm glad we didn't go to that number?
No.
800.
No.
So if let's say the Mets signed for like 15 years, 850, you're gonna be like, I didn't want to pay him that much.
No.
No.
15 years is crazy.
He's gonna get it. He's so young.
But like I look at these guys and I guess
He's going to get at least.
yeah,
like
you
12
want
or
the
13.
15
25.
years 'cause it's
He's going to get at
guaranteed.
least like 12, 13.
I think he get 15 years.
No, you're
How
probably
old is
right.
he?
You're probably
26.
20. He's 26. Like his age 26 is next year.
Wouldn't it make sense to take a
No.
like
No,
so
no,
he could get two
you
monsters
lock up,
though?
You lock up the team you're
life
going to be
is-
with for the
his
rest of your
life-
career.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you
All
need?
right.
7?
Also, what if you got hurt like 4 years
You're
in?
basically doing like
life is-
the Bryce Harper contract, like just like times 2.
You're also
Yeah.
getting nearly $1 billion.
Also,
Like, how
I
much do
got
you
it.
need?
I got it. I'm just saying I
Bosco, you're on to something though. Let's say he has an opt-out in his contract after 5 years, and they front-load the first 5 years of the deal, so that way you can get two
Yep.
you
two
can get
monster
two
contracts.
monsters.
At
That's all
night.
I was saying.
That might
is
and
young
probably
enough.
will happen.
What about but again, he gets one bad injury, it's over.
But then because the opt out though, he can. I think Phil's exactly right what he's saying.
Yeah, but if that could change his whole career if
Absolutely.
he gets hurt. So it's like, why wouldn't you just take 15 years for $700?
How much money is that?
He's going to, 50 plus. I mean,
I think 700 is probably
What are
more
you
likely than
saying?
8.
I think it's gonna be 7.
I think I say 15 over 700 million
I
over
think he gets
15
to
years.
700 mil.
I think so too.
700 divided by
Figure out more
15.
shit. They gotta-
46 million a year. Oh my
They
god.
gotta figure out more shit. We also have young, like Heel is promising. Volpe at least in the playoffs started to get going.
Volpe is going to go to multiple All-Star games.
Minguez hopefully is like a guy that replaces Verdugo on the left, where like
That's
you
an
can play
upgrade.
him the entire year. Like we need pitching. We need because Carlos Rodon can't be our second pitcher. We need to do more things in the.
How do you get pitch? I mean, like, so you already have Stroman locked up for next year. You mentioned Heel. You mentioned
Yeah,
Cole.
you're
You mentioned
right.
Rodon. You already have your rotation kind of locked in.
It's crazy. Stroman was paid like what 2 years, 37 million, and had 0 playoff innings. Just kind of a waste of time.
They didn't use 3 players in the playoffs. Meek. They didn't use Grisham. They didn't use Dominguez, and they pinch hitting Jose Trevino. If you want to pin something on Boone, it's that.
Yeah, like
fine
not
with
developing your players in the regular season
Crazy.
to like give
You also
you
have a chance to give like Dominguez some playoff experience. I know we all kind of joke about pedigree in this room, but he was a good option off the bench, and you can get him a couple World Series at bat or two. Why not?
But I also
Dominguez is the
don't
only one I
think-
thought like Grisham. I have no problem they didn't play.
Exactly.
I don't think there was any scenario where it made sense to put him in. Dominguez, especially for running, it would have made sense. For an at bat, it could have in a bat or two, it definitely could have made sense.
Who would you rather have pinch hit, Trevino or Grisham? I'd rather have Grisham.
They're both bad, dude.
No, but one is better. I'm just saying, if
But the thing is, if
Trevino's the worst option you have.
if you don't pinch hit in the ALDS, ALCS, you're not going to do it in the World Series. Giving it's almost unfair to the guy giving his first at bat in a month because you didn't do it before. Like Dominguez should have batted in the ALCS at one point. I forget what instance it was, but listen, there's
Now, one good thing
A
you
lot of
guys
work to do.
you guys have Luke Weaver on the books next year for only $2.5 million. Pretty cheap for a closer.
Great deal.
Great deal. So at least you have that. Like, so if Holmes does leave, and I'm guessing he will because someone's going to pay him too much money, you guys can not have to find a closer, but find a setup guy.
I can see us re-signing Canley.
Yeah, you get him cheap.
I can see Canley.
Yeah, he's-
and I like Canley.
Yeah.
our bullpen's just not the problem.
Well, you got Mark Leiter Jr. next year too. He's on the books.
The bullpen was the MVP
They're
for the
actually
playoff.
well.
Besides like Stanton. Our bullpen was like
Stan was
literally
lights out.
Boone was masterful.
Besides Stan,
Stan was lights out for you.
The first 4 games, the Yankees pitching staff held the Dodgers like pretty well in check. 2 runs in 9 innings, 4 runs, 4 runs, 4 runs. Like
All 5. We did 5 games.
You really did. You talk about
yeah,
like
if we're talking about
earned runs.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Right.
I'm saying like their lineup did not really like terrorize us. They just capitalized on every bad thing.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Gave it away.
So listen to this stat. This is great. So the Yankees lost the World Series 1-4. The Yankees ERA for the series 3.83. The Dodgers was 4.80. The Dodgers had a run more earned, but you guys lost the series.
The Dodgers
Scored more runs
only
than them, too?
outscored.
Yeah, right.
No, you guys
Couldn't have.
Why? We scored 11 in one.
Probably about
game.
the same.
The Dodgers only outscored the Yankees by 1 run
I was
total in
gonna
the
say,
series.
but I was
Wow.
gonna say,
Oh, you did. I'm sorry, Mario. You did. You outscored them
you're right.
25-24.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You got outscored.
Yeah, I said the
25-24.
Dodgers outscored them.
You guys
Yeah.
go by 1, and you guys lost 4 games to 1. That's crazy.
No,
I
if
mean,
you
we
look
gave away 2 games.
That's
we
what I'm
literally
saying.
handed
Yeah.
on a silver platter.
Game
6
one was
unearned runs in the
Game
series.
1 was the
I'm not
one.
taking it away
Game
when
1
I
and
say
game
Game 1
5,
was
we
the
literally
one.
said, "Here you go. Here's the game."
I'm not saying like I'm not taking away credit. They deserve to win. Like they were better, but like we did. Like it hurts more that we beat ourselves. Where it's like we gave away games. Like game 1, obviously. Game 5, we gave away. I think the Dodgers beat the Mets. If that makes sense.
Absolutely.
they-
Zero
yes.
questions.
You guys feel like they were just better. We gave it all. Good for you. The Yankees, I think the Dodgers are still better, but like they didn't just destroy us and beat us. Like we were there and made stupid fucking mistakes.
We
That
could have
kills
easily
me.
won. We could have easily won the series, or we could easily be up right now in the series.
I think we
Yes.
could
We're
be
sitting
up,
here. We
could be up
lost 4-1.
3-2.
That's my point. We could have easily been up 3-2.
And it's
We're
just so
sitting here and
frustrating
we lost
because
4-1.
also like we just like had it like obviously we played who we played before. Everyone could say what they want. We took care of them easily, and then
This is the worst loss I've seen the Yankees have since 04, and maybe the worst World Series loss I've ever seen. I'm old. I've never seen the Yankees lose a game like that. That is the most crushing, depressing, horrific loss I've seen the New York Yankees have in obviously at least 20 years and maybe my entire life.
Oh, Clemmer,
I mean, when have you seen any team lose? Like that's
That
one
was-
of the worst
yeah,
losses.
but
like,
that's
just ever
like-
in
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
I almost
It's not even the Yankees.
That's
No.
When you give 3, like
it's one of the
you
worst
have
innings in the history of baseball.
You have a dominant start. We have a
6 outs.
dominant starting pitcher who we gave all this money to, who pitched his balls off.
Absolutely.
6 outs.
2 games, and you lost both.
It was
How
6
you're-
outs in that
you're
inning.
Never,
And the crazy thing is,
going to win like
you
that.
guys, this is so reminiscent of the Red Sox in '86 because the Red Sox '86 had the lead in Game 7 and then pissed that away. You guys had the lead again after that inning, and then you guys fucked it up with the catcher's interference and a balk. Like for me on my couch,
though.
what's that?
We didn't fuck up with that. Canely fucking walked. He threw 8 pitches and the bases were loaded.
No,
That's just where it's.
you're absolutely right, Marty.
Have that like that. You can't come into a fucking game and pitch 8. It was the fastest bases loaded there's ever been in baseball history. I think it was crazy.
Crazy.
It's just like, what are you doing? You walk everybody, and then Weaver came in and pitched great. They scored 2 runs, and it was 2 sac flies. But that's what the Dodgers do. They will capitalize on any error that you have, and they fucked us up.
I
And
said it
thank
last-
God.
Also capitalize when you walk, guys.
Thank God it was Game 5, and I'm just like they put me out of my misery last night instead of like
Game 7.
if that was Game 7. This is like that's why Buckner is such a big thing because it was Game 6 and it was like and they should have won and all that and. People always forget that was Game 6. I feel like
People do.
It's
forget,
right. The Mets had the lead in games. I mean, sorry, the Red Sox had the lead in Game 7.
yeah,
People do forget the game was already tied with Buckner, though.
yeah, but
Yeah.
still like that's
Pass
just like
ball.
right. So
The
that's
pass
Game
ball
6.
tied it.
That's Game 6 with the lead in the World Series. You know?
Yes. 1 strike away, 12 different pitches.
Yeah, and like the Yankees were at least like, listen, I'm not. It was still fucking the worst game I've ever seen. It's just
That's the worst you ever seen. That's worse than 04 for you.
no. I think 04 is still bad. Honestly, the Diamondbacks still hurt.
That wasn't a badly played game.
Yeah, I know, but just like the like
You were
that,
better than the
we were
Diamondbacks.
better.
I don't think you were. I don't think you were. I think that Diamondbacks team was special.
Blue Pit really fucks it.
Schilling and Randy Johnson.
Still in my head, but this was like we were already losing. You know, like we're down 3-0. Like it was just more embarrassing anyway. It's an embarrassing series.
I'm starting to think. I don't know if you guys believe in this. I obviously don't. But like some Yankee fans believe in like aura and mystique of the Yankees. I feel like that's just gone now. You guys are just another baseball
Why do you
team.
keep saying that? It's so stupid.
Some Yankee fans believe that. I mean, you guys don't talk about it. I'll give you guys credit. You don't.
I I don't believe it because I think you see the way the world reacts when the Yankees lose.
Yeah, like look at you and
like the internet's
everybody.
on fire.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Of everyone. Yeah, like that
shows
right
you
there says
how
that
much of a big organization, how good and how much people really still care about them.
No, two different things. Some people believe like the Yankees almost have like this special ability because you have the pinstripes and the tradition and the mystique and the aura. Maybe it was more the old Yankee Stadium, but like you feel like almost like the Yankees can somehow do it because they are simply the Yankees. And I feel like that's obviously dead now.
I think that's true.
What's that?
I don't think that's true.
That's fair. And I said you guys, but you know what I'm talking about. There are Yankee fans that do believe that.
I actually, I agree with you, Clemmer, that like they don't act.
They
like
don't,
it.
yeah.
But I would say like the KFCs of the world who like maybe felt tortured by the Yankees always winning.
No, me too. I'm saying both.
But like because they are so used to the Yankees winning. My age, like the Yankees haven't dominated at all.
Yeah,
so, like,
I'm looking at it. 09. So since
it's only 09.
Since 2000, they're 2-3 in the World Series.
It's even worse than that. Since 2004, they're 1-1.
But Yankees fans my age.
The Astros have fucked us for the past.
Yeah, they were lucky they won in 09. I will say that.
That was a good team.
That
was a great team.
No, but they're luck for their history because otherwise then it's
I know.
If they lose 09, it's 01, 03, 09, 0,
The thing is,
24.
like, the Yankees have
4 losses
still
in a row
been
World Series.
That's what Guy
They
said.
would have won 4 titles. It would be even now.
I said he would give away 2 Red Sox titles so the Yankees don't win in 09. So you have this crazy drought.
The Mets, like world or like the Royals world or whatever. Not even the Royals because they won, but like other worlds where you would be so happy with that. Like we are successful,
Right.
but the Yankees times we're not. Like we've been to how many LCSs?
No sports. I mean, would Mets fans be happy?
You literally just were happy what you just did, what we've done.
Right, but
like,
would I be
3
happy?
times
No,
this-
I guess winning in 09 is great. So for sure, I would rather obviously be you guys than us the last 20 years. Obviously, that's what I was saying. But I don't know if someone would be happy with that.
You literally were happy this year, right?
Because there were low expectations. It was a strange season.
But but we're
That's
saying
the point. Like we don't have
that.
You do. I mean, you guys didn't make the playoffs last year. Stop.
Yeah, but we're telling you
the low expectations literally don't exist.
it never exists. That's where you're saying like the aura of the Yankees. The
Yeah.
Yankees, no matter what roster they have, are always expected to win the World Series.
World Series
Dallas
or bust,
Cowboys.
no matter what.
And also, we're saying we've been getting to the ALCS completely fine.
Yeah.
And we just keep losing. You would be happy about that.
No, not for the. I wouldn't want to go back to the NLCS next year and lose. After a while, it's like this kind of sucks.
No, he does have a point. What was that point again? You said that. Give it to me exactly how you said it. Give it to me exactly how you said it.
I said that if it was a organization like the Mets or like a Tigers
Reds.
or Reds or something like that,
Yes,
you would be very happy with the way your season
To have all the
ended.
success.
Yankees
I agree with that.
The Yankees have had success in those people's eyes where we get into ALCS, Game 7 ALCS. It's just we lost. It's horrible for us because we're
Yeah.
the Yankees. It's different.
It's horrible after a while.
No, I
for
think the
anybody.
Mets would kill for that because we haven't made the playoffs in consecutive
Exactly.
seasons
I know.
other than
That's my
one
point.
time in our fucking
Enrico,
history.
by the second time you
also-
lose the LCS in a row, you're like, fuck this
You guys
noise.
also-
Yeah, but I'd rather be in the mix every year and have these runs. Like I'm jealous. That's the thing I say all the time. I've watched more Yankee playoff games than I have Met playoff games.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just a fact.
No, that's what
like
I'm
the
saying.
fucking Guardian games back in the day in '95 when they were down 3-0 in the first, and everybody's like it's over, and they come back and it's 5-3. I'm like, what the fuck is this
Yeah.
in the second inning? You know what I mean? Like
I know.
I remember all those games. Like, but it's evened out because since that early run of 96, 98, 99, and 2000, I remember 03 they lost to the Marlins. Like it has kind of evened out. You just have the 09 championship.
It's just like the Diamondbacks last year. Well, great season for them. There's an awful season for us.
Well, they also didn't piss down their leg in the 5th inning of a game like
Just
that.
saying, though.
No, but like
An off-
to lose. So like the Red Sox, the way they lost at 86 was devastating. The way you guys lost this game was devastating.
Yeah, but the
like
series
historically
was
bad.
devastating. So that's where it's different. Like, the series was like already fucked anyway. Like that's the
I don't know if it was. So in my head, I'm not gonna lie. So I was watching, obviously watching at home, watching you guys. And the stream was incredible. The 4th inning, Cole hasn't given up a hit. I'm like, all right, so this is going Game 6. I'm like, all right, we got Rodon. I'm like kind of talking to myself, like, all right, got Rodon Vertramo. That's my ace in the hole here. But I was already game planning. In my mind, that game was over.
I mean,
over.
It's crazy that no one's ever even forced a Game 6 down 3-0.
No.
Yep.
Insane.
We were about to
It
do
is
it.
pretty
That
crazy.
was
Fucking
insane.
gave it away.
And the Dodgers bullpen was like running on fumes. Like Walker Buehler had to finish that game. Like
Yeah, they had nobody left.
like the Dodgers would have been spent. Like the Yankees may have had like more of an advantage. The fact that Cole went deep into that game.
Huge advantage.
I also just want to say the internet about us having those guys in yesterday. Grow up. It was funny. Also, certain employees, you're a loser, but like it was funny. If you didn't think that was funny, I cannot fathom.
I wasn't here yesterday. I'm curious to hear this.
Who was the employee?
I know who it is. Can I pull him up?
No, don't pull it up because I don't want to. I'm good.
Oh,
I'll say mean things, and I don't want to say.
I know.
Mean things.
No, I got you. I know.
It's just like
There's an ex-employee that said something about it.
I don't care about ex-employees.
I know who
In
you're
the
talking about
building,
now,
it's
though.
weird.
I think I will say I can see both sides to some extent of like, all right, this is a bad precedent. But if you can't find him reaching into that ball, grabbing it out of a mitt, funny at all, then even Francesa said it was funny. That's a funny thing. If you don't think it's funny, then I don't know what to tell you.
Tommy's rant with him was like a WFAN caller. Like, it was perfect.
Can I say something that happened
Also,
last night?
I mean, that video did crazy numbies.
If we're doing numbies, yeah, it had over 2 million. views.
Almost like 3 million views.
So
You
if
guys-
we're doing numbies.
You guys did a great job getting them in here as fast as you did.
Yeah, dude, I don't
And
care.
it was like a
What's our
viral thing.
job?
It's
What's our
funny.
job?
That's
Shut the fuck up, you loser. That's what it is.
I hate the Yankees. If you can't find that funny, I don't know what to tell you.
When Tommy said, it's like, oh, that guy deserves a ring if we win. And Francesa goes, a ring?
It was amazing.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Tommy.
Amazing conversation.
Boy, those poor guys. Those guys were this close to being a float on a parade. Now they're yesterday's news.
Now they're just-
Tommy during the
There'll be a moment though.
They're a footnote.
That moment will be like
That moment, you're right,
Remember that guy who ripped the clip ball?
Hey,
and
listen.
Wookiees
Some
ball?
people reach into the fans and they're just a moment. Some people get a fucking parade. That little fat fuck, Jeffrey Mayer. So
Tommy-
like, alter history.
Champion.
So it's all a matter of what happens.
Champion, yeah.
Tommy
a long
was
time
just
ago.
wanted Francesa's approval so bad on like his quips. Did anybody else notice this? Like
Yes,
during
he
like
was-
the non.
he
got it, though. Francesa loved it.
At first he didn't, and then all of a sudden he made him laugh, and he goes, "Frankie," he's like, "You see that? You see that?"
Yeah, he was like going like this. Like he would say something, and then I'd see out of the corner of his eye, and be like looking down at Francesa.
Francesa thought Tommy was very funny.
Yes, it was
Francesa
just-
didn't find Meek very funny.
You hear what I said? Don't.
I found Meek funny.
You know what was an underrated rivalry at the end of the game? Who fucking maybe hated Meek more than anybody?
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Borelli.
Borelli. Fucking hated you.
Oh yeah.
I would hate him too.
I did catch that. I
You
mean,
didn't think?
Oh yeah. I did that.
I mean, look.
Oh shit.
I mean, if you're Mr. Borelli, how can you have this guy
Sitting right next to you.
who's literally not a fan of either
Okay,
team in the series? His team's golfing. and
Yeah,
he's talking shit.
Like it is embarrassing.
Holding a
You
grown
know,
man holding a
in
teddy bear.
hindsight, I don't care if someone
talking shit to me about
I don't
my
care-
team playing in the World Series.
I don't care if Meek had to be there. I don't care what the fucking circumstance. If you just do a black and white of this guy on a stream with a teddy bear that has nothing to do with the game and just lost to the team, it's the most embarrassing thing, and that's why I would be so angry too
And
if I was
Marty,
Mr.
you haven't said anything wrong. You have every right to be mad at me.
Yes.
Like, everyone in that
Of
room had
course.
every right to be mad at me. I just want to say this.
It definitely
before,
won't bite you in the ass, by the way. It definitely will not come
doing my
back
jab.
at all for the.
Oh,
You still sound mad at me. Are you still mad at Meek?
Oh, he's going to be mad at me.
No, I'm not mad. Do I really care about Meek Fielder? No, I'm mad at the Yankees.
All right, that's
So,
I'm just saying it. Well, obviously, nothing bad will happen to the Mets at all. Of course,
I
it
because
just
of
wanna-
Meek trolling you? I don't think it has any
I
correlation.
just want to
no, it
say,
never does.
It really does.
Right.
It really
No,
does.
you're right.
It really does.
I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, if
just
there was correlation, then shouldn't the Yankees not have a horrible fifth inning when Meek is there trolling? If karma was a thing, then shouldn't the Yankees have persevered over Meek's trolling?
It has nothing to do with the Yankees.
That's right, exactly. It has nothing to do with anything because it's fake.
No,
So-
no, you're right.
Imaginary.
a few things. One, before the game, I did offer my seat to Ken Jack because in my eyes, I was like, the cave should be filled with Yankee fans.
Classic.
I
And-
also said.
And
to
Ken
stay
Jack
there.
also told me, it's like, no, you're sitting there.
Classic.
So I was like, you know what? They want me in
What
that
does this have
corner
to
like
do
I've been all
with anything?
series. I'll do it.
I don't know.
You just showing he's a classic guy.
Nothing to do
And-
with
That's it.
anything.
No, he's telling some behind the scenes.
I wasn't going to take my foot off the pedal. I had that idea of champagne. I actually bought the champagne for game 4. And I was going to pop it then, but, the Yankees won. So I had to save it. And I didn't want to,
God.
half-ass it. I wanted to do something.
No, I'm no problem with what you did.
And you have every right to be mad
I
at it.
don't
You have
think,
every right to be
I
mad
don't
at the
think you're
team.
understanding. I think I'm saying I understand why you're there. I understand the whole thing. But if you are not part of this company, like Frankie's dad, and he's just a Yankee fan, they have this troll freak that's holding a
Yeah.
teddy bear, not
Be
rooting for
mad.
any team. I would want to rip your throat out too.
Yeah.
Mike also, I'd watch out for security guard Mike. He
So,
literally
security-
texted us saying, "I'm gonna drive there and rip his throat
I
out."
had to get my key card out. I didn't know security guard Mike was out front. I was like,
hope
am I
he beats
going
you
me
up.
in?
I hope he beats you.
No,
up.
you don't.
It's okay.
No.
But
I wouldn't mind if he
I wouldn't
just-
mind if he beat
Meek, I
him
got
up.
your back.
Maybe a
don't worry.
noogie.
it's crazy. Like,
No
think-
one
I
has
think
anyone's
he's-
back.
I got
He's got
I
both you clear
I
by
got Meek's
himself.
back, and
I'd
I'm
play-
pushing him right
you
to
have.
security
He'll
guard
beat you
Mike.
up too.
there's so many replies
No,
I'm
you hear
getting.
what
It's like,
I said?
I'm going to fuck you up. It's like, no, the fuck you're not. You're on the internet.
I'm not. Don't make me feel. You literally do the same thing. Don't
He
make
doesn't say he's gonna fuck anybody up.
my own DMs. You want to see my DMs?
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Oh, mine too. Oh, yeah. No.
I don't care about Meek's getting people. My DMs.
That's part of it, Meek. We all get it. We all get it. Yeah.
Meek also is the guy that literally tweets at like injuries at Brush.
Yes.
There was like,
That's why it's so
True,
funny.
actually.
Not like, what do you mean, like about?
I don't feel Meek Phil getting trolled.
That's a fair. I hadn't thought about that. That's fair.
there was like
Threatened violence on the internet is not worrying me right now.
there was like one DM I got from a burner. I was in post. It was like, "Oh, you hugged your dog this morning," like making fun of my dog that died like 4 months ago. I was like, dude, like, now I know I'm on the right side when someone's doing that to me.
Yeah, someone made
Like,
fun of my
now I know I'm
dead
on the right
dad.
side
I
when
mean,
you're
that's
talking about
how
dead
it
pets. Go
goes.
fuck
That's
yourself.
part of the fun of this stuff.
Obviously, that's horrible. But bro, yes, you are. You also. How do you not understand? You're a troll.
Yeah, no, I know I'm on the right side when you're talking about dead pets. Like that's I'm not doing that.
People.
There's a line.
Unfortunately, if you're a troll in any way, there's going to be asshole trolls in these situations.
Yes.
They're going to come at you.
Yeah.
Double as hard, double as scummy.
Yeah,
and
but
that's
it
that's
comes
part of
with
the
it.
game.
Unfortunately,
That's part of the circus. That's fun.
doesn't mean it's right. But
It's also funny. Like it's just like that's like someone made fun of my dad. My dad died. It's like like that's
Yeah.
funny, but it was a funny line. Like all right, tip your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
There is a.
you can't get upset. You can't get upset about it. That's what I say. I'm also like, if I'm gonna shit on the Yankees and be a troll, like you said, dude, you're gonna
well,
get
that's
shit
the
back.
thing. If you're trolling, literally trolling, you have to expect it back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I give Meek a compliment? There was nobody that could that situation was only funny one way, and it was just how awkward Meek was, like being like, "Dudes, congrats on the
Well,
Saturday night."
We've been
But
trolled
he had to
thousands of
ask-
times by different ways, so it's fine.
He had to ask Jinx to open up a champagne bottle.
I didn't
because he
want
know how
I didn't
to.
want to pop someone's eye out accidentally. I wanted to be
Your eye.
Classy.
You're
well,
on, yeah.
Been your
Wait,
eye.
you could make a joke. Someone could have
Imagine
made a
if
joke.
Meek had tried to pop the bottle and got a black eye from the bottle.
Or like it just
hurt
ricochets into Mike
himself with the own
Francesa's
bottle.
I
eye.
wanted to
The
be
joke
safe.
was right there, like laying up, like,
So
oh
let's-
yeah, of course he doesn't know how to pop a champagne bottle. The Mets never won anything.
Right.
It's true.
It
So
doesn't
let's
matter because that's why it's like punching down, you know.
let's say
In
let's
this
say Juan
postseason-
Soto leaves.
This postseason run, I literally tweeted "good for the Mets" when they won.
That's nice.
I know.
You did. Tommy didn't. Tommy
That's
how little,
Tommy
like-
put a noose around Grimace and said, "Go hang yourself." So
That's funny.
Let's say Juan Soto does leave, and you guys end up getting like Pete Alonso, say, because you fill the spot.
Gross.
Or I'm trying to think of the next biggest like hitter on the free agent market.
Filled in Juan Soto with.
That
on.
said,
I'm just trying to think of like
this
actually-
just made me like vomit.
who's the next
Actually
guy
got me-
down.
That almost made me get up and want to beat you up.
I'm literally saying like then name me the next free
No
agent.
one, dude.
Teoscar Hernandez.
There's
I don't know, whatever.
nobody.
Like
Soto or
whoever you want to say.
I'm sorry,
No.
Clemmer. There's zero. There's nobody. I don't.
So
care.
then what? So then how do you feel about the Yankees next? Like,
they'll
going
make it
next?
to the ALCS.
I don't. Oh yeah, the AL's pretty weak.
Yes.
Maybe.
Not scared of anybody in the AL. We are the best team in the AL without Juan Soto still. We are.
I don't know.
Sure,
Think so?
Definitely are.
for sure. I think so.
That's a big hole in the lineup, though.
You guys didn't have
Well,
Juan
it's
Soto
something-
last year, and you guys missed the playoffs.
What?
And Garrett Cole had a Cy Young season. You guys didn't
Definitely
have Garrett Cole, Soto last year, and you guys missed the
Different
playoffs.
team.
A lot of other injuries.
You guys lose. Think you got Glaber back? I like Glaber a lot.
We don't.
I can see
we
Glaber
don't
getting
get
re-signed. I think it's possible,
We
but,
don't get
yeah.
Soto. Glaber has to be resigned.
Yeah, for sure.
Problem is though, like you said, Marty, what if Soto doesn't sign until January? Glaber takes a contract from I don't know
I think they'll kind of.
rando team
Oh,
in
The Yankees will kind of.
December.
this is what sucks about baseball offseason. It takes so long.
so long.
For
Especially
guys
with
to
Boris
sign.
clients. Oh,
I think the Yankees will kind of know.
When does free agency start?
Tuesday.
Wow.
qualifying offers go out Tuesday too, right?
So
So
he just like
Yeah, but
signs
like
on
this
Wednesday.
isn't the
nobody
NBA.
signs Tuesday.
Yeah,
I don't get it. Why don't the Mets just on the first day offer like $900 million?
I would do. Yeah, I had no
You
problem
can.
with that. They can.
But Boris then is going to fill out other offers and it's going to take time. But the Mets certainly can.
Like nobody's gonna touch $900 million,
Right.
right?
I don't know.
It's not going to get up to 900. That'd be fucking
It'd be
ridiculous.
nuts.
How sick would that be?
46 million or 700
That'd be
over
so
15
awesome.
years. That's
That-
crazy.
I can't imagine these guys if and when Soto does go to the Mets. They're going to be just a despondent.
nuts.
It was a fun October in New York. I mean, the two playoff runs we streamed almost every day in October. It was fun, like hanging out with you guys, like all month.
Fun
Yeah.
hanging out with you too, buddy.
The real
good run.
championship is the friends we made along the way.
Good
Absolutely.
run. We do have a Thursday
Like,
night.
he does this thing after he trolls you for 4 hours and like comes over to you and tries to shake your hand. And
Classy. That's what good sportsman.
Just throw it out.
Yeah.
Last night I said, Meek, just go home.
Yeah.
He goes, okay.
Let's close on this. We do have a Thursday
Well,
night.
Tommy said it first, and then I can't shake his hand after.
I wasn't expecting anything from Tommy.
What?
End of stream.
We do. Yeah, they'll be streaming tonight. Thursday night football.
Yeah.
Thank God.
The line is weird. Line is weird. Why are the Jets favored?
because they're going to win.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I took the Jets
That's
money
because
line.
Diggs and Nico Collins are out.
Right.
Yeah,
That
I
is a
mean,
huge part
I know.
of
And
that.
it's one of those, like, I look at it as just
struggling.
the
Your
Jets.
number 1 and number 2 receiver out.
Two things have been
tough.
struggling for them. Also, offensive line for the Texans have been struggling, and they've been getting gashed in the run game a little bit.
And
too.
listen, if you look at their games, like they could barely beat the Colts last weekend.
Right.
They probably should have lost. Like they're 6-2. They were playing good, but I think this is a Jets this is a big Jets game for me.
This is like a last
Last
stand
ditch.
That's also what it is too. It's the last.
They've had a few
last
last
stand
ditches.
games.
yeah, but this is like the last. Like,
It's
you're 2-7,
over,
it's done,
over.
done.
What are they? 2-6.
2-6.
So they lose this
truly-
game, then the most games they can win is 10. Also,
That's-
like, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, this is
Yeah,
truly
but they're not
it is
winning 10.
over. Not just
Oh
like,
shit! I'm saying, but like,
Right.
even in the fantasy world, like you can't, like this is.
No.
I'm on the Jets money line more out of bias and just because I got to watch the game and I want to root for them. So
But it's also think about that. It's like they're getting the kitchen sink. The Texans are going to get the kitchen sink from the Jets, and the Texans are all right. We could lose this one. We're 6-3.
Right.
I like the over a lot in the game.
I don't think they're going
I
to.
like the under, kind of, to be honest.
42.5.
Yeah, I kind of like the under. I do like the Jets. It's one of those, like, I've said how much I just don't like this Jets team, and it kind of, like, even last few weeks, I just don't see it. But this is like such a classic, like, NFL game. Like, the line's weird where, like, just no team is ever as good as bad as you think you are. The Jets are probably a little bit better than I think they are. Also, I saw Warren Sharp posted some stats about how, like, the Jets have been, like, incredibly good first, second down. Houston's been, like, kind of bad first, second down.
Okay.
Should put them in a lot of, like, precarious spots. Some third and longs. They don't have Collins. They don't have Diggs anymore. Now, like, Dell kind of has to be number one. I'm sure they use a tight end quite a bit. Schultz, Stover, shout out Farmer Gronk, Ohio State guy. But, yeah, I just think it's such a Jets spot. It's one of those. This is one, like, if the Jets lose, like, I'll go fuck myself. Like, this is everything I know about betting and just NFL. Like, you just take the Jets here. If they lose, they really are just one of the worst teams in the NFL. Period.
Yeah. Anybody like touchdowns? I like Joe Mixon. I know it's chalky, but I like Joe Mixon to score a touchdown. You can score on the ground against the Jets. They gave a touchdown to Ramondre Stevenson last week. I think it's like 4 out of the last 6 you can score on in the Jets. I think Joe Mixon puts one in.
I think Devontae Adams has to score tonight.
I kind of do too.
I'm on Devontae Adams.
I like Adams. I put in a parlay last night with some things that, like, the last leg is Adams. So now I'm, like, really trying to will it home.
Oh, really?
Can I ask you guys,
If it lost, I was still just gonna re-up on it today. So I do like Adams to score.
I have one question. This is NBA related. Last night, Warriors beat OKC. Is that last night or no?
No, Pelicans.
2 nights ago?
It was 2 nights ago.
Well, they play the Pelicans, I think, 2 nights in a row.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm all.
They beat OKC this year. No, I'm pretty sure
They made they. I know
Well-
Buddy Hield had a huge game. They like
They did the other day.
it was crazy. Wiggins didn't play
They
and
didn't
Curry
beat
didn't play.
OKC. Never
It was
mind.
the Pelicans.
They didn't. But
Played the Pelicans 2 games in a row.
Draymond said on his podcast, the one thing I see about the OKC team that's alarming to me is their post game. 7 guys in the interview. There's a certain seriousness it takes to win in this league, and there's a certain fear you have to instill in teams in order to win. I just don't know if they're instilling that fear in teams with all the bromance and stuff after the game. I find that such a wild thing to say, kind of. Do you think so or no?
Bromance he was referencing of just, like, the players?
So after the game, after OKC wins, they have, like, literally 6 of their guys give the post game interview. Like, you know that?
Oh,
after the game, LeBron will
like
do it.
Shea, Chet. Yeah,
They do it together.
Yeah, they're all like
Gotcha.
hovered over. To me, I was like, oh, they just seem
Kind of cool.
seem
That
like
they get
they're
along.
enjoying
They're friends.
themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that was. I don't know if anyone's like not scared of them and now because of it, or I don't know. That was a really weird.
Because at first I thought you were saying that, like, their interior soft, like, physically, like, they're
No. Like
No,
their
more than-
mentality.
Now I see
no
what you're
one's
saying.
no one's scared of them. Like
Yeah, that's weird.
I thought it was really weird.
I mean, they are young. They're a young team.
yeah, I don't think anyone's
So
physically scared of them. I just think they're really talented.
Because obviously their best players are, like, Shea, Chet, like
They weigh, like,
Jalen
180.
Williams. Yeah, like, they're all young, thin guys. Like, Hartenstein's the center, who's, like, decent, not
Hasn't even
small,
played yet.
big guy. But, yeah, obviously he hasn't played
Yeah,
yet.
like that's what I'm saying. Like that's a guy that will instill fear, but like I thought it was such a weird comment.
Chet's also a phenomenal defender.
Yeah.
Obviously he's skinny, but he's a great defender.
I mean, to defend Draymond, a little bit devil's advocate here, like, he does know what it takes to win. So, like, it's hard for us to say, oh, you're wrong.
I don't know if I'm saying you're wrong. I think it was just more of a weird one where it's like, I don't think having 7 guys post game after interview is going to make you not win a game.
I think you're right.
That's more where it's like, if you were saying they're soft in game, like no one's scared of them, they're young, like we know what it takes. That was to me like he was almost jealous of like how close they are. Like his team's falling apart, even though they're like playing really well.
Yeah, they're playing
I think it just shows you how old he is. Like this is you usually see this,
Could be
right?
that.
Like these guys get old and they're like, oh, I don't understand what these young. We see this all the time.
Yeah.
All right, picks. Clemmer.
I'm on the Jets money line. I'm on Breece Hall to be first touchdown scorer. I like Devontae Adams anytime. That's plus 135, and I'm on the over 42.5.
Okay, I am on Mixon to score a touchdown. I'm also on the Utah Jazz -2. San Antonio on a back-to-back. I like the Utah
Spurs
Jazz.
sucks.
Tyler Conklin,
Spurs
first
suck.
TD, plus 2,200.
Okay.
Wembanyama hasn't been good this season. So
Bad for Phil. Phil had all those
You're
future.
not great.
I think he had 6 points the other night.
You're not a great start to the year for him for sure.
Not great. Also,
Early.
if you had Karl Anthony Towns for the King of the Court last night, you would have gotten the bonus bet?
Did you
know how
see?
much it
Did you
won?
see what Langone did?
Joey-
He literally played that system like a fiddle. He put 10 cents to win 13 cents on Cat. $975 bonus.
Wow.
Oh wow,
That's
So
that's why the
funny.
bet. That's why the bet's amazing.
Amazing.
that's
Doesn't matter- it doesn't matter
incredible.
what there's no minimum of you
Yeah,
just
no,
put literally
and you
10 cents on
It's
it.
amazing. That's why the
Just
bet's
got basically a free $975 free
And
bet.
Ev,
He
he
had to
put
take the
all
right
on
guy.
Penn
There was
State.
a lot of good players that played last
Yeah.
night. You
Yeah.
know?
Ed, what do you got for
Put it
picks?
all on Penn State.
Put all on Penn State money line this weekend. So
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't worked out in the past, but I mean, I literally have, like I said, I'm the least confident I've been in Ohio State in like a big game like this in a long time. I'm on the Jets money line under. That's probably it, but I'll tweet out like full card.
Marty.
The Jets -3. I'm on the Grizzlies +6.5. The Bucks are a mess. Bucks. They're already talking
They're
about
talking
trading
about Giannis, Nets, and
4 games in. I don't know.
Doc Rivers,
guys.
baby.
Maybe there is a little bit of a Doc Rivers problem.
Yeah, there probably is.
But I also just think the team doesn't mesh well. And then I'm going with the Mavericks -6.5, and I'm going with the. That's it. My Nets won last night though. Nets are frisky.
they are frisky.
They're frisky, and that's
They're
a
frisky.
potential
Cam
landing
And
Thomas
spot.
our
is
Pistons won last night, and Schroeder went off last night.
Yeah,
What do you like, Duke?
That's Brooklyn's one of the potential landing spots I saw.
Yeah, did you
for
see
Giannis.
Giannis?
Yeah, for Giannis, yeah.
Oh, my Nets will be.
I would
might
kill
take
the
them-
Knicks.
I might
know
take
we're
the
building
Nets
something.
to win it
but
all now, just if he gets on.
That would hurt. That would hurt as a Knicks fan because we wanted
Remember,
Giannis.
they'd have to give up all their players though.
Yeah, they have to give up a lot.
All these guys are getting excited about. Like, listen, they get Giannis. That's great.
Did you just get a bunch of picks, right?
The Nets have a ton of.
For Bridges, yeah, they got a lot for Bridges
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, think about this. Mikal Bridges went for 5 first rounders. How many is Giannis going for?
Well, what's Giannis's? How many
Yeah,
years?
but how many
does he have
his
left?
I think he has like 2 more years
They'd
left.
they'd
on
have
his
to
deal.
give up like Cam Thomas or like if you got like core pieces like that
yeah.
How many
Like-
did
with a bunch of picks.
Gobert went for like what 8? 8 first
One of
rounders.
the worst trades in NBA history.
It's a bad trade.
I couldn't
I
agree.
can't
with
believe they just gave him an extension.
you. Yeah.
$100 million.
Just anyone
The
paying
Nets are
Gobert.
never going to get fleeced again like the from the Celtics.
Celtics.
Well, that's just
I think they've learned their
it's a
lesson.
great trade.
You'll never see a trade in NBA history like that ever again. Like that.
You never say never. Never
Okay,
say ever, man.
Maybe I shouldn't say never, but
No.
like
I
don't think the
that
Nets will
trade like changed the way GMs think. Like
LeBron also could change the way GMs think with his longevity and stuff. I agree with you guys on the Jets, but I'm taking the Texans. I almost feel like in these spots, for the past couple times, I've gotten burned by being like, I know that this is such a rat line, don't take it. I almost am at the point that I think those days are over. That it's just like, Vegas won't be like, no, this is the ratty line. Like, take the Jets. So I'm kind of trying to change my thinking here. I'm going to go with the public. I'm going to be the square, and I'm going to
I
take
don't hate your pick, but I don't think it's ever. The days are never going to be over with.
you just have to pick your spots.
There's rat lines.
Just
every
picking
week.
spots. Yeah, you're just gonna pick
And
your spots, right?
I personally think that
No, I think he's got a point where it's like the Jets have done this to you 5 to 6 times this year. Like you think the Jets.
This is the weirdest one, though.
Yeah, it is definitely
far
weird.
the
but
very
I,
weird.
I don't blame like not
Don't
wanting
blame
to
him
root for the
taking it.
Jets
No,
because the
of
Jets are
course.
so bad.
I'm not sure what I'm taking yet because I also think that the Texans, like even in the Patriots game when they won by 21, a lot of those points I thought were fraudulent, and I think the Jets. I was on the Jets all week until right now, where I'm just like, I think I can't
It's just
overthink
like
this.
it does look like Nico Collins is a huge part
Right.
of that offense. that
And
we've
now
seen.
Diggs,
and then Diggs is
Offensive
someone
line
that
struggling.
Diggs had a really good game last game too, and like Tank Dell has been pretty absent. So
Yeah.
I know he scored last week, but he's been still pretty absent.
I'm on the Spurs +2 against the Jazz.
Oh, okay.
And I like Houston +6.5. Not sure what I'm going
All
to
right.
take in the other games.
All right, that is
Stream tonight.
Pick Central stream. Will be streaming tonight. Catch you tomorrow.
Go Jet.